Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I hope everyone is doing well. Uh, let's see. Do I have any announcements to make today before we jump in with this puzzle by Marty, Sears, and Patrick Guess, aka Viking Prime? I'm sure I've done some Viking Prime puzzles before. I have been continuing to post the lingo and blueprints videos for those of you who are interested in that sort of thing. I've been getting some nice comments, so hopefully you're enjoying those. The shenanigans puzzle. I also am planning to start soon. I'm going to record it quite shortly, I believe. My invitation to puzzles series I'm going to start doing. So if you have any puzzles that you think are in the gas or just a smidge above gas range, by all means, feel free to dump them. There's a thread over on the Discord where you can put them. I don't promise to use them. And if you haven't done a gas puzzle in a while and have forgotten where the bar for gas or just above gas is, you might want to before checking. But this is, again, meant to be sort of a pansexual, but for puzzles where we're going to do both Sudoku and pencil puzzles, sort of roughly speaking equally. And so my goal is that also if you are less comfortable with pencil puzzles, but you're more comfortable with Sudoku, you could watch the pencil puzzle episodes and hopefully become more comfortable with pencil puzzles over time. I am at some point soon going to do a longer stream where I'm going to do something, I don't know what, some sort of longer game stream. I don't know exactly. Stay tuned for details, but I'm not ready to say anything just yet, I think. All right, so let's look at the rules to Marty and Patrick's puzzle. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. Digits separated by a black dot have a ratio of 2 to 1. These are palindromes, so they are meant to read the same forwards and backwards. These are same difference lines, so meaning that you have to have the same difference across every pair of adjacent digits along it. And then these are zipper lines, which if they're zipper lines, they should have a thing there. Which says that every pair of digits equidistant from the center have the same sum. I will say, I think same difference lines are nice. I think zippers should just be done away with. I think zippers are a constraint that does nothing that other constraints don't do, but does it in a way that's confusing to explain and think about. And I think we could let that one go. That one doesn't have to become an evergreen constraint. As a community, we can just say no to zippers. I'll get T-shirts made to say that. Let's have a look. I've also lots of times, by the way, said the same thing about palindromes, but I don't think that's as controversial. I think there's a good reason why we don't see palindromes a lot in puzzles, and I think we see palindromes the right amount in puzzles. But same difference lines, I think, really do something that is quite different from any other line. I really like same difference lines. All right. So the fun part of this puzzle is that we have the shenanigans. So each line is one of the above types, but some are lying to you. The wrong colored lines are exactly those that have the digit D on them. D must be determined by the solver. So there's some lone digit that exists over here. I mean, I've always bashed constraints, but I mean, people have been bashing like anti-knight since like the early days of things. But when I did my constraint tier list, I did have a like garbage tier. So there are I would not, by the way, put zippers in garbage tier. I think zippers aren't bad. Zippers are just beaten by every similar constraint being easier to explain and articulate and doing exactly the same math things. Indexing, though. Indexing is my sort of like garbage tier, basically. I would put numbered rooms above it. If I had to pick an indexing constraint, it would be numbered rooms. Poor Chinstrap. Let's see. I know Alima used to really like indexing, so apologies to Alima. Let's see. Okay, so I am being told there is a wrong palindrome, which I agree with, because this palindrome would claim these two are the same, but they can't be. So this thing is, in fact, lying. Now, there is a question of notation in this puzzle that I'm not quite sure exactly how I'm going to notate what I have found. I'm just going to put a red X in the middle of this just to indicate, hey, I know that this is not a legitimate palindrome. So this is either a zipper, in which case, coincidentally, this is the thing that goes there, or this is a same difference line. If this same difference line is correct, then the difference has to be 1, because since it's entirely contained within a box, it's monotonic, and so I'd have to go up by 1 basically all the way around in one direction or the other. And so that would make these be from 1 to 8, 9. But if you looked at it, in fact, actually the only way that would work is if this was a 2, that was a 1, and then we put a 9 over there. So if this is true, this basically has to look like that, I think. Okay. Is there some reason? So I'm just looking at the, well, I guess one obvious comment that I should make is that one of these two is wrong. They can't both be right, because the digit in this box, whatever the digit is, has to be on one of these lines. And likewise, the same happens over here. One of these is wrong. So this assuredly, okay, here's another observation. This is certainly either a palindrome or a same difference line. Those are the two options. And this is either, sorry, palindrome is the wrong word. This is either a zipper or a same difference line, and this is either a zipper or a same difference line. So what happens in the world where we've got a giant zipper like this? So this is a sum of 7 digits, and so 7 digits sum to a minimum of 28. So that would make this number here a 7, 8, 9. If this were a 7, these would be 8, 9. If this were an 8, these would be 4, 9. And if this was a 9, this would be two numbers that sum to 9. Oh, there's a white dot here. There's a white dot here. Very good. Yes. So there's a white dot. Right. So the white dot would force that to be 8 or 9. Sorry, I had just, my brain had blanked that the white dot was there. I was like, in this box, we've got a black dot, and in this box, we've got a nothing. But that's, in fact, not true. In this box, we have a white dot, which is staring me right in the face. So yeah, so if this is a zipper, then this is an 8 or a 9. And we definitely have the 9 in this row, right? Black dot is S tier. White dot is A tier. That is my ranking of the dots. So I think white dot is fantastic, but black dot is a clear S tier constraint, because it does something that's so different than what any other constraint does. It is just the chef's kiss of constraints. Yeah, so if this is correct, there's always a 9 in this row, I guess is the point. Otherwise, then this is the same difference line, and this is from 1, 2, 8, 9. Okay, what if we instead, hey, Garion, how are you doing? What if we instead assume that this is the same difference line, and so now now we can go like 1 through 7 and an 8 here, or okay, well, it's worth noting. Actually, that's not true. These could both be. Well, they can't both be. They can't both be zippers, because we proved that 9 is in the middle row if it's a whisper. If they were both same difference lines, then these would be a 1, 2, 8, 9 quadruple. And that's not actually possible, because we proved that this in the instance well, glad to have you here, even if you've been taking a break from puzzling. We proved that if this is correct, then we know that this is a 1, 2, and that's a 9. And so the problem with that, to be clear, what I was proving was they can't both be same difference lines. The problem is that then this puts 1 and 9 on the other one, which does not work. Both correct also breaks the D digit. Right. Okay, yeah. So, right, because if both are correct, then the D digit is in row 5. Hey, Jan, welcome. Oh, sorry to hear that, Isabella. I think I decided I'm using one of your puzzles as my first puzzle for my Invitation to Puzzles series. So yeah, if they were both right, then we proved there would be a 9 in both of these. So they're in fact both wrong. So we can put one of these here and one of these here to try and remind us of this. So these are from 1, 2, 8, 9. And now this okay, and so in particular, these are not, by the way, the naughty digit. This gray's a little too oppressive. I can definitely do an intro to a mean mini. Oh, right. It's still true that the 9 over here is in this row. So there's no 9 here, which means that these as a collection of digits are a 9 somewhere. And so that makes these a 1, 2. Very good. So in fact, this has to be a 2, David points out, because there just is a 9 on this now by Sudoku. And so it's got to be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I was going to say 2, but I don't say 2. And so therefore that's a 2. And we can bring out Zach for the 2 dance. Boop 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 boop. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So we can fill in this whole box now. You don't get to fill in a whole box very often. Hey, Joel, how are you doing? Okay, so 1 and 2 are not the bad digits, is fair to say. Okay, so this we know. Okay, and so this being 7 works. Oh, yeah, probably doesn't include the black dot. That's fair. We said, I think this being 7, I think just works. No, it being 7 doesn't work. Because if this is a 7, then we need one of these pairs to be 3, 4, and none of them can be because of the 3, 4 over here. So this is an 8 or a 9. Is it necessary to solve the puzzle, or is it necessary for the puzzle to be unique? Let's see. But the 8 is the same problem. If this is an 8, I need a 3, 5, and 3, 5 gets broken by that. So this just is a 9. It is pretty for what it's worth. It makes it symmetrical. So now these are 2 digits that add to 9 now by math. So there's 4 ways to add to 9. And so the gray way is not 1, 8, 2, 7, or 3, 6. So this is 4, 5. And we know where the 5 goes because it doesn't go on the black dot. And so this is now a 2 because black dot's a 4 and it isn't an 8. So that's a 7. And so now we've got a 6 up here and a 3 down here in order to make that work. And then we've got our 1, 8. So the 8 is up here and my 1 is down here. So I can center mark those like that. The black dot isn't necessary for uniqueness either, but they do balance. Okay, and I know the 2 is not the interloping digit. Now, interestingly, yeah, so I guess I could ask myself things like, hey, if this is a same difference line instead, then what's happening? Let's see. This is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. And this is 1, 2, and 9. Okay. So this is never a same difference line. The only thing this could be, if it's lying, that is, if it's not a palindrome, the only thing it can be is a zipper line, in which case then we'd either have 2, 3 here if it's summed to 4, or a few other variations thereof. This line, perhaps, maybe we can figure out, because we know it's not a palindrome. Let's see. If this were a zipper, I think it could work with an 8 and a 6, too. I think it would be fine. Same difference is harder for my brain to decide whether that's actually plausible or not. So maybe that's okay. I'm trying to decide if there's something wrong with these being 2 and 1. Now, if this is 2 and 1, that's a 9 for what it's worth. I'm trying to decide, what about the 4, 5? If the 4, 5 get reflected up here, then that's a 6. Okay, yeah, so That is interesting. Yeah, so there's a few things here. One of them that Martin spots, I'll do that one before Joan's because it'll make Joan's better, is that this thing is not a same difference line. And so it's either a zipper summing to 9, or it's a palindrome. And so these two things, if they are going to sum to 9, what are they going to be? How do I know that they have to be 4 or 5 and not some other two-digit sum to 9, though, Martin? That I don't quite see, but I definitely agree this is a 9 in that instance. Oh, right, because of how zippers line. Right. Sorry. Right. If that's a 9, that's a 5, and that's a 4. Right. Yeah, so these are always a 4-5 pair. Right. So therefore, right, because these two would sum to 9, so that would be a 4, and that would be a 5, and these two would sum to 9, so that's a 4, and that's a 5. It was not a bit. Zipper lines are terrible. Let's see. So now these things are either 1, 2, or they're part of a sum with 1, 2 to sum to 4 or 5. And ergo, this one, actually, it can't be a sum to 5 even, because I can't get this one up to 5. So it would be a sum to 4, in which case this would be a 3, and that would be a 1, because I can't make this a 4. And otherwise, this is a 2, and that's a 1. One of these is always a 1 for what it's worth, so that's never a 1. Now, no, 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. Otherwise, this is a 1 and a 2. Oh, this is just never a 1. Is that the point? This is always a 2? Did I just do this wrong? Okay, we can just do this again. So if it's a palindrome, this goes 2, 1. And if it's a zipper, so this is just a 2 all the time. I see. But this could be 1. Because I needed to just make this 1 or 3 if I had done this correctly. So this is always a 2 regardless. I don't think that's true, is it, Todd? Now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 long. Oh, it's known because of the 1, 2. So if this is 1 or 2, it's fine, right? If this is 1 or 2, then the line is honest. And the line being honest is fine. Hey, Ambrose, how are you doing? Thank you for the puzzles, by the way. I look forward to doing them. Do know one of the digits along here. Let's see. So there are no 2s along this line anywhere. So if this is a same difference line, because this same difference line can't actually reverse, it is not possible. So this would be a set of 7 consecutive digits. It would be 3 through 9 in that universe. That this was in the universe where this was honest. Yeah, the center marks. Sorry, the center marks are a little bit tricky to read. It's because the palindromes are slightly darker gray than they usually would be. Oh, would that put 6 there? 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. It would put 6 there. Very nice. So yeah. So if this is honest, this is what Jim is pointing out. If this is honest, we've set it all of the digits C2, so it would be 3 through 6. But then it would go 3, 4, 5, 6, or 3, 4, 5, 6. In both cases, you end up with a 6 here. So this line is lying, and ergo, this is truly a same difference line. And if I sum these, the sum is at least 15 plus 3 is at least 18. And it's 4 times this number, so that means this number is at least 5. But it can't be 5 or 6, so this would have to be 7, 8, or 9 again. Now, I don't think 7 is... Oh, 7 could be possible. I think 7 is possible. I did love the name Slate. Slate definitely improved my amount of liking for palindromes significantly, I will admit. Let's see. This is just never a 3 or a 1, right? I mean, the digits that this can be have to be incredibly narrow. Because if this is a zipper, then it's from 7, 8, 9. And if this is a same difference line, then we start 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. In fact, actually, just same difference just can't possibly work with the 4, 5 here, right? I think the same difference is just killed by this 4, 5, right? Because we would not have this 4, 5 anywhere on it, and this is much too long to not have a 4, 5 on it. So this has got to be a zipper, actually. Yeah, so Garian's point is if this is a 7, these instantly become an 8, 9 pair because you can't put 8 or 9 in a sum to 7. But now you've got to shove 5 on this line somewhere, and you just can't because you have this you have the 2 staying everywhere. So this is never a 7. If this is a 7, then we get an 8, 9 up there. And this would be a 1/6 exactly. See, Isabella points out it also can't be 8 because there are 3 ways to make 8 other than 4/4. But that's an issue still because I can't use 2/6 at all. So now I can't use 4/4 and I can't use 2/6. So it's actually only 2 ways to do it. But one of those ways involves this 1/3, and so I can't actually do it. So actually, this just is a 9. That is a 1. That is a 3. Okay, so we know that digit is honest. Okay, we know the 7 is definitely down here because the 7 would go with a 2. And it goes with the 6 because the 6 is down there. Now, the 9 is definitely up here somewhere. If this was a 7, it would be an 8-9 pair. Oh, yeah, 2 and 3, right. If this is a 7, this is what Garion is saying. If this is a 7, then these are an 8-9 pair, but where are the 2 and 3 going in this box? They're going in these cells, except they need to go with a 4 and a 5, and they can't. Put a different way, if this is a 7, we've now locked out for these. We've locked out 2 of the 3 ways to make 7, so they'd have to be the same way to make 7, and that doesn't work. Basically, all of these would be 1/6. So therefore, that's an 8. So that's a 7. Okay, so we know none of these digits, by the way, are the digit that is bad. Because this one actually maintained its truthiness. And therefore, these are not the digit either. 8 is also just now 8 has been exonerated from this. See, David says this is now a zipper. Okay, one of these is a 3, right? Just per Ambrose, because 3 can't go in any of these now. So these are a 3-9. So in fact, the naughty digit is 3 or 9. So we can get rid of all of the other digits. They've all been cleared. So yeah, one of those is the digit that is bad. So there's my 3-9. So one of these two now is, oh, sorry, no, sorry. 9 could be the digit that's bad. These are certainly not the digit that's bad because we have a 3 and a 9 in this column. This is not the digit that's bad because it sees a 3 and a 9. If this were a zeta puzzle, that would have been the key step. It's being pointed out that row 8, column 5 actually told me what was happening. Because as soon as this is a 3, that means this line is lying. So therefore, this is the lying digit. This is an honest digit. And so actually the lying digit is just 3. I'm going to make this yellow instead of orange. So these digits are not lying. In fact, that one is the one that's lying. Or marking the liars, as the case may be. Okay, this needs a lying digit, so it has to go there. There's nowhere else it could go. So this is a 3. So I was trying to decide about this one, but I don't know. Okay, anyway, this is a 6 because of virtue of the fact that that's how this line works. 3 plus 6 is 9. Let's see, 3, 5, 7, 9, 7 would work just fine for this line over here, I think. Let's see. This line is real now, so we can fill in the 4 and the 5 because it doesn't have a yellow in it. So that probably maybe helps. So this is not 3, 5, or 4, 4, or 2, 6. This is 1, 7 only. If you look at these two, they need to add to 8. And if you just look at the column, we've ruled out everything except 1, 7, and we know the order. That's the 7. That's the 1. Okay, so now it can't be a zipper because 7 is too big to go on a zipper. 3 plus 7 is not 10. So now this is, in fact, a same difference line. So I'm just going to put the blue circle in it just to mark it as that. And if it's a same difference line, then we know that's a 5. That's a 9. That's a 2. Okay, so now we get the rest of the line filled in. Okay, so now that's the bad digit. And now that's the bad digit. So these are cleared. And so now this line is not a palindrome. So this is the same difference line or a zipper. Oh yeah, I never marked that this was a zipper. Oh, I'm trying to check if I know that, Patrick. Or if this could be a zipper and a palindrome, and that would be okay. Oh, it can't be a zipper and a palindrome because that can't be a 6. So yeah, so this is under no... Actually, this would be a perfectly fine same difference line if I put a 3 here, no matter what digit I put there. So I think this is okay. Good point from Gary, and this is now known to be an actual palindrome. So that's a 6 or a 7, and it's not a 6. So that, sorry, I'll fill in the right digit eventually. Does that. So now I know one of these two is a 6. So now I know one of these two is a 2. Which I guess I kind of already knew, but what are you going to do? Oh, and in fact, these two just are a 1-7 pair, just by Sudoku. And we know the order apparently. So that's a 1 and that's a 7. And that's a 2 and that's a 6. So actually that whole box is done. Oh, 7 in box 7. There are, in fact, 4 7s looking into box 7 have made that a 7. I agree with Jim. I don't think there is a negative constraint, is there? Oh, no, there is a negative constraint. They must satisfy the other line types and not the presented color. I would have, capitalized the not, but I see. Yep. So, yeah, so right. So there is a negative constraint. I was like this whole time thinking, well, as long as I just declared at the end of the day that this was the same difference line, then it's perfectly fine if this is a 3. But it is not, in fact, perfectly fine if this is a 3. Oh, so this just never could have been a palindrome. right? Because if this was a palindrome, it's also a same difference line, and then that breaks the rules, right? So we always knew. Wait, this one's both a palindrome and a same difference line. Doesn't that break the rules? Oh, no, because it's not lying. It is a palindrome. As long as it's correctly identified, we don't have a negative constraint. We only get a negative constraint in the other universe. Anyway, this line is lying. Maybe is relevant because this would have to be a zipper. It would have to sum to 8 or 9. It can't sum to 9, and if it was 8, this would need to be a 1, which doesn't work either. So this needs to be lying, so it needs to have the 3 on it, which will block out the rest of the sun over there. And so now this is not a zipper. It's not a palindrome, so it's the same difference line, and that's a 5. Which makes these a 4-5 pair. And so we know the order. And these are a 1-8 pair, and we assuredly know the order because we've got all the digits in these columns except for these two. We know that there's a 5 and a 6 in these cells. Let's see. This is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, so it's a 9. Good spot. What about this triple? We still need a 2. We've got a 3, 4. We need a 5 and a 6. So this is only a 5. Okay, and so now this is an 8 if this is the same difference. Sorry, this is an 8 if it's a zipper line, and it's a 4 if it is a zipper line. Oh, yeah, sorry, this should be blue. You're right. Yes, Todd with the important points. Okay. Wait, how is the cell a 9? Isn't the cell a 9? Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. There's a 9 there. Got it. Okay. What about these two cells? One of them is a 1. The other is an 8, I want to say. Ah, that's cute. Okay, that is a very Zeta approved step. This 1-8 tells me that these are not a 1-8 because it would break the thing. So this is a 6 and a 3 and an 8 and a 1. The most Zeta approved of all steps. And ergo, this box is lying. Or sorry, this line is lying, and it's not a palindrome, so therefore it's a zipper. The digit they sum, or the number they sum to is certainly at least 5, but it can't be 5. So it could be 6, 8, or 9, I believe. 6 would make this 2, 4. That's not actually possible because there's a 2, 4 in the row, so it's 8 or 9. Let's see. 8 would make this 2, 6. That's not actually possible either. Because there's a 2 and a 6 here. So this is a 9. Oh, right, and it has a 3. That's probably even a better idea because there's a 3 on it just by Sudoku, so it's 3, 6. And we know the order. Sorry, wrong gray. It having a 3 would have been a much smarter point than the torture case checking that I did to it, but what can you do? Okay, so this is no longer an 8 because the 8 within this box looks down. So that's a 1, and that's an 8. One of these is a 1, and it sure is. This is just the 9 for this box, just by Sudoku. Let's see. Surely one of these digits is not in this box yet. 5, 6, 7, 9, 3. Nope. there, all there. Horrible. Let's see. I'm trying to cheat by using Sudoku. Yeah, there we go. There's a cheating by using Sudoku. That's a 7. Because there's 4 7s looking at this box. Okay. I think it was the last 7, though, so it's not super useful. Let's see. Now 8 in box 1. Very good from Garian. So now that's an 8. And so now we can mark this was a zipper the whole time. These are a 1 and a 4. So one of these is a 4, and it's that one. This is also a something, because we've got 8 digits in the row. It is an 8. That's a 2. It's a 5. 4, 5. Okay, so these are a 6 and an 8 in that order. One of these is a 4, and the other is a something. The other's a 9. Let's see. These are a 2 and a 5 that I put in exactly the wrong order. Let's see. That's a 4. One of these is a 1, and I know which one it is if I listen to Mark. It's not that one. That one's a 2. Ooh, and we're done. Very nice. I enjoyed that. I was a little skeptical of the rules at first because there's sort of this like deduce the 1-digit thing, but it wasn't so bad the way it was executed here, because it was sort of, I feel like you probably could have done without that, but it did have some interesting pieces in terms of the logic of the puzzle. I enjoyed, there were a lot of good uses of the geometry here of like these two things facing each other, even if Patrick didn't like these. I don't think I've done Marty's recent puzzles. I tend to avoid Marty's puzzles for a while because usually Simon on CTC does them before I do, and so I just assume I'm just going to do them a year later, and then some of my audience won't have seen them, and some of them will have seen them a year ago, and it's okay. I do have to finish the Rat Race series or get up to number 20 at some point. In the not too distant future, I'll do that. But yeah, I will. Certainly, Marty puzzles eventually make it onto the stream, is usually how it works. Breaking a virtual triple in box 5. Probably better with the dots. I mean, not just because there's a black dot in the puzzle, and all puzzles are better with black dots, but in fact, exactly one black dot. Alrighty. I am going to take a bit of a break, and I'll be back in just a moment with more puzzleage. So see you all in just a moment. Hello, and welcome back. Next up, we have an S Vegeta Hardy puzzle. You can see the whole grid, even though it doesn't quite look like it. Let me make it look like it. There we go. Okay, so this is, and let me get a link for you if I can. This is a hybrid of Yajalin and Nawarbi. I am hoping that it leans more heavily on the Yajalin, because I understand Yajalin. I don't understand Nawabari. But what we have here is a hybrid of these two. So we need to divide the grid into rectangular regions of cells. Each region contains exactly one clue. Interesting. We have local Yajalin shade some non-clue cells in the grid. Shaded cells cannot share an edge, even across Nawabari region borders. Within each Nawabari region, draw a loop that travels orthogonally through the centers of all unshaded cells. A valid loop requires at least 4 cells. Oh, hey, Nell. How badly did we do on your puzzle last time? Did you look and see where we hit a catastrophe? Was it very early, or did we just do something at the end? If you checked, I'm curious, because we were it was all going smoothly, and then suddenly it all got jammed, and then we broke the puzzle. And I'm curious if, in fact, actually the breaking the puzzle had happened 40 minutes sooner. Clues indicate the number of region borders minus the number of shaded cells in the indicated direction. For example, a 1 clue might see 3 region borders and 2 shaded cells. A grid border counts as a region border. A question mark clue contains no information. Okay, so that is very bizarre, and I don't have a lot of intuitive okay, so it's the number of... Sorry, it's the number of what minus the number of what? number of region borders minus the number of shaded cells. So here there's a lot of region borders. That's what we were saying. By the way, there is an example that you might find insightful on the LMD page. I can pull it up just for a second, just so that you can see the picture of what this looks like. Here's what a completed grid looks like here. Okay, so there's always, no, it's really weird to me to have minus the number of shaded cells, just because it means that the thing is the opposite of what it intuitively means. So yeah, so I think every rectangle has at least 5 cells, and I think you couldn't even do 5 if you wanted. Okay, so there are still like some like standard Yajnalny things. Like, I'm going to use green, I guess, for this. Like, I can't shade these cells because it would create a dead end for the loop, and I still have to visit all of those. And so, like, I've got a bunch of these sort of around the border, and I don't think I can avoid that by sort of like isolating the edges. If anything, it's going to be worse, not better. That I can do that. So at least all of these are not. By the way, I'm going to turn on dashed grid. That sounds good. Dashed grid on. There we go. And again, the reason for that is if I shaded this, now this is unshaded, but now I can't run a loop through it. Okay, so everything, it's 2/3 of the way through the puzzle. Okay. So you could have a border right away, but then you need to do at most one every 2. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something. I think you could get this up to 7 if you maximized it, so it's probably not super exciting. Oh, now that's true. If you look at it, the 5 and the 2 are saying there's at least 3 more region borders over here. And what's the maximum number of region borders I could have? I can have the 1 there. I could have 1 here. I think 4 is the maximum number of region borders I could have. Unless I have mistaken. Now, I do know I should remember the rule, every region contains exactly 1 clue. So, like, there is a region, I guess, and I should go ahead and mark around the border here. So, like, there is a region that contains this. Yeah, I know these are all in the same region at least. But I don't know if this sort of runs over to here. That wouldn't quite work. I might be obligated to think more about the region borders than I was anticipating. Yeah, regions always have to be at least 2 cells wide everywhere. If you think about it, I guess we can say that, like, if you look in this direction, for example, we know there's a region border on the edge, but there's also a region border between the region that contains this clue and the region that contains this clue. So that's interesting. So here there is, in fact, a shaded cell in this direction, because we actually know there's a border between... Oh, no, sorry. This just is 2. There's a border between this and the 5, and there's a border on the edge. So that's maybe not quite exciting. I do like some of these that are like really jammed close to each other. I wonder if I can like contemplate, like I kind of want to note these are all in the same rectangle, right? Because if I try and draw a rectangle border, I can't draw a rectangle border here, and I can't draw a rectangle border here, because it would create a... oh, sorry, I could. Sorry, I'm wrong. I could, but I would have to make this cell black. But if I was going to make this cell black, I definitely could. So I guess maybe an obvious point is there is a shaded cell over here somewhere, because at the very least, we get the border over here that we have to counter out. But I don't even think one shaded cell is enough. Because if we only get one shaded cell, that says all of this is in the same region. And then that region couldn't grow couldn't grow vertically. Because if it grew vertically, well, it could grow vertically up, that would be fine, but it couldn't grow vertically down because it would take a second clue. And that doesn't work. So the question is, can I use one shaded cell and make this into something valid? And the answer is no, I don't think that I can, because then I can no longer make the loop work, right? I could shade up here, but then I would have to just I would just by force have to include all of this in one loop. And that does not work. So I think actually there are 2 shaded cells in here, which gives us a little bit of Xage. And I think actually we can... I was about to say something I think was wrong. Let's see, I think... Ugh. Oh, yeah, this is green. Why did I not green that? I don't know. Somehow I missed... when I was attempting to green everything, I somehow missed the most standard ones. Now, normally in a Yaslin, I would say I can't shade these 2 because it would make a T. And I think I can say something similar here, but it's not the same. Namely, if I shade these 2, then what happens down here? Well, there's no border here, and there's no border here. And so basically, that is then going to make a T. Okay. I can argue that this doesn't work now. If I shade both of these are both unshaded. So there's loops, and they could in principle be different loops coming under these because these are unshaded, except they then become the same loop, which now means that this unshaded cell is also in that area, and that does make a T. So the T thing still works. So I can't actually, the real problem is, therefore, I can't shade this cell because it would also shade that cell. And I'd get exactly that pattern. So that's shaded, that's unshaded, and we can start filling in some loop. Like that. I can march my green around. Now, I don't know if the issue is the same because of this piece here, so I have to reconvince myself. But I have convinced myself, actually, we do get the same issue. It's not quite isomorphic, but we get exactly the same issue. Because if I shade this cell, then I force a piece of line under here. which then makes these all part of the same rectangle, which then collides the world. So this is also shaded. This is also unshaded. And so we get, this, which is now going to go like that. Okay, and by our previous argument, I absolutely can't link these, because if these go together, they all go in one rectangle, and that rectangle has way too many clues. So this is, in fact, a border that we know goes down at least this far, because we know the rectangle encloses this whole piece of loop. And we can do this. And now this rectangle has to stop before here, because if this loop goes down, then we have now included in this rectangle both of these, and that doesn't work either. So this green turns this way. This red border comes over, well, I'm going to say at least that far, which means this cell's definitely shaded. Is there green? Right. This rectangle now, Ambrose is pointing out, just absolutely cannot extend over there. Oops. So we end up with that, and so granted that, we then force this. Why is what a border? Every region contains exactly one clue. Is that the rule that I need to cite? And every region is rectangular. I think those two together are the point, is that this needs to contain this one loop. And so once it's sort of contained that much stuff, it can't grow horizontally or vertically. So we get... Oh, your brain was thinking 2. Oh, that would be... 2 clues sounds monstrous. Okay. Now, these both have to be in, because if either of these is out, it creates a dead end now that I have this sort of new border. So these are both in, and I can draw the loop through them because these are weirdo corners. Oh, I guess technically that part I can't do, right? That part I can't do because I don't get to do any of my avoid a mini loop deductions. Oh God. How many times am I going to screw this up because I'm going to try and do my avoid a mini loop deductions? Yeah, we can absolutely do mini loops. Okay. New game, make a mini loop. This 3 is a minimum on the number of borders that there are going up here. And so I need to make sure this doesn't come down too much further, because currently I've only got 1. Of course, there's going to be a second one between these 2. But there's got to be yet a third one in there. And that is going to be an ordeal, I expect. Yeah, we need 2 cells between borders at minimum. Right. If this is, yeah, very good. Yeah, if this is not loop, Garion points out, then that makes this a dead end. So this is loop, which is going to buy us that. Okay, and so now there's definitely a border here because we know what clue this region is having. Likewise, there's a border up there because we know which one this is having. Okay, so this loop continues down now because of that border. Okay, well, this region is only 2 wide now. So, like, this has to continue down just for this side. And so that at least gets me this. Doesn't tell me anything about whether this stopped or not, but it at least gets me this. Okay, I really like this make rectangles with loops business. I kind of wish they were just regular Yajlin clues, though. I don't really love the minus this piece, but everything else I really like about how it gels here in this puzzle. Oh, that would be 4. Sorry, I was like, wait, am I actually already maxed at this? But no, I'm not already. Oh, actually, sorry. I have to make sure I don't create a region without a clue. Ah, that's the point. I think that's the point, is I think I'm going to need to create a region that includes this in order to make this work, right? Because I know because of this 3, I've got whatever border happens with this 3, the border at the top, I need another border in there. And the other border, that too high region, it has to get a clue. And so that clue, if you look at where it could possibly come from, it literally can only come from here, right? I'm not crazy, am I? Do people agree with this deduction? This feels very weird, but I think it's true. So I think we get all of that for our 1, 2, 3. And assuredly, it is a very cool deduction. Assuredly, that makes all of this green, because I can't possibly subtract from that. Okay, that is my 3 things. Okay, this rectangle, I think every region has exactly 1 clue, is one of the rules. It's at least true in the example. Every region, yeah, it's in the Nawabari rules, is that every region contains exactly 1 clue. Okay, so we get this this bit. Okay, so this loop we can finish. Oops, not like that. This at least goes over here. Well, this red at least continues. Oh, right, I can sort of fill in this piece. And now there's some sort of parody nonsense that's telling me I can't shade things. I mean, this is assuredly shaded, right? If this cell isn't shaded, then I've definitely got a... I don't have a loop in this. So that's definitely shaded, and also this rectangle ends here, right? So we've got all of those are green. Oh, I understand. Sorry, when you said nothing else in that rectangle is shaded, I thought you were talking about this rectangle. Which may be true, but I was not sure. But basically, yeah, if I shade anything, I create this dumbbell problem where I only have one path connecting the left and the right, and it's a loop, so I need 2. So basically, this is what David was saying, and I was not understanding because I was thinking about a different rectangle. All of this happens. Okay. Yeah, and it's that one, right. Okay, this 0 is presently working. I have a feeling the loops may not look too exciting aesthetically. I mean, yeah, if they're all being crammed into like areas that are at most 4 by 5, I have a feeling probably most of them are not going to be real lookers. So I have a feeling this 3 is going to say this cell has to be shaded, and that's going to get me that this cell has to be shaded, but I'm not sure. But I think otherwise, by uniqueness, I don't think I can possibly finish this, because I feel like there's like a bajillion ways to finish this that don't involve any additional shaded cells. Yeah, Emma says the thing I was thinking, and then I wasn't quite sure I wanted to articulate because I wasn't sure it was useful. But I think I agree with Emma that if you look at this, basically either this rectangle extends or it doesn't. If it extends once, then it has to extend again. Once you look at that, then in that instance, all of this is green. Otherwise, this rectangle doesn't extend, in which case I've got this unsubdividable rectangle, which then has to be too wide and has to come down at least to there. In fact, exactly to there, and et cetera, et cetera. So basically, this is always all green. Okay. David is noticing that if I shade this, it makes a T, which is true. Yeah, I create the torment nexus or something. I keep looking at this too and being like, oh, where are the 2 shaded cells? Ha 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 ha. I guess I can count 1, 2, 3, 4 borders minus 1. So we're currently at a count of 3, but we know we're going to get another 1 at least. That's true. Row 7, column 1 is always a corner. Oh yeah, I certainly can't shade that either. Or we could have a problem. So either these are both shaded, in which case the puzzle is unique, or they're not both shaded, in which case the puzzle is not unique. I have a bet as to which one it is, but we will leave it ambiguous for now. Let's see. It's interesting how we don't know sort of what happens here. Oh, interesting. The 0 down here, I guess I never sort of paid attention to the 0 down and the 2 up. Because this 0 is going to require a lot of shaded cells down here, right? Because this 0 currently sees 2 borders at least. So it's certainly going to need at least 2 shaded cells down here. But I feel like if you look at the, like, 0, 2 math, it might actually require 3 shaded cells, and I might need to have 2 shaded cells down here, which would be the maximum. Oh, right. We can now, because this is a new border, there's a bunch more dead end avoiding that we can do around this piece, and this piece, Garion is pointing out. The 2 sees 1, 2, 3, 4 borders. Okay, so the 2 does need at least... Right, it needs at least a shaded cell. Sorry, so there's definitely at least a shaded cell in here. Is 1 shaded cell enough? That would imply there were no borders, which would imply the region looked exactly like this, right? If I'm going to avoid there being borders in here. Right, these are also greenable. Emma points out. Oh, right. So this, okay, this is bizarre. Okay, so yeah, so people in chat are pointing out, I know there's at least 1 shaded cell in here, so this region can't be too wide. So therefore, that means I need an extra border in here beyond the 1, 2, 3, 4 I have. So that's at least 5 borders. That means it needs to see at least 3 shaded cells, which means these are both shaded. Which is going to create weird things, I think. I'm trying to be careful here about not accidentally using any reflexes that exist out of my my brain. Okay, so this definitely needs a border with this, because otherwise I'm going to consume 2 clues, and I can't consume 2 clues. Also, I know this rectangle is not too high, because if it was, that would be a dead end. So I also know that that is, that border continues. Oh, right, and now the loop continues, right. Very good, thank you. I did not appreciate that. Okay, and so now this thing is a corner, funnily enough. So those are both green. It's almost a short, yeah, it's now definitively, because of that, it's now definitely in a different rectangle from this one. So we know this goes at least over to here. We have another of Ambrose's very exciting rectangles. Oh, this is also a corner, by the way. Speaking of things that are corners. In theory, no. In theory, I can't make these both part of the same loop, but I don't know where the divide is, I don't think yet. Okay. I can no longer put a divide here, because if I put a divide here between these, then this grabs this, and I don't have my rectangle here. I guess maybe a different way to put it, João put it as row 3 or row 9 column 3 seems squished. This needs to be in a rectangle that's at least 2 wide, so we have that. But now as soon as we have that, now this rectangle is forced, because these are in the same rectangle, basically, if you want to articulate it. Okay, and so now this is in by virtue of the fact that it would create a dead end if it was out. So we can do all of that. So this is either 2 high or 3 high. Okay, well, I know this loop definitely doesn't turn up. If this loop turns up, now I've created something that's wrapping a rectangle in an inappropriate fashion. So we won't do that. Because I know this is all part of a rectangle. I don't know which rectangle yet. I'm not prepared to say, but I know it's part of a rectangle. Okay, and so now this... Oh, sorry, I was going to say something wrong. No, if this is part of this rectangle only goes down, I guess is what I'm... Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work. If these two are in the same rectangle, that's... Oh, no, it does as long as that cell's shaded. Is my claim that this cell's always shaded? Something is really setting off my spidey senses around here. If this is unshaded, then I get this, which means, yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, so if this is unshaded, then my rectangle starts here and it can go this wide, but that's not wide enough, but then it goes this wide, but now it unrectangles this rectangle. So this is always shaded, which gets me some extra corners. Okay, and so now, now this is all part of this, and this is a little rectangle like this. We can loop that in by virtue of that. Row 10 and 11 of column 3 can't be shaded. Okay, got that. Yeah, we got a Lovey Heart loop. This is the new high point of exciting loop. If these merge, we could get a really exciting loop. I mean, it can't be that exciting, but it could be a little exciting. But we could also just have two itsy bitsy loops over here. Okay, this 0 now, it sees 1, 2, 3 borders, and it sees 2 shaded cells. So it's owed, sorry, it sees more borders than that because it also sees the border down here. So it sees 1, 2, 3, 4 borders currently, 2 shaded cells. So it needs to see exactly 2 more shaded cells, which need to go in here and here. Exactly 2, because it can't see more than exactly 2. And it needs to see no more borders. So all of this is in with the 2, right? So that means this 2 can't grow that direction because then it would stop and it would not be able to. Okay, maybe it could grow that direction. It definitely grows this direction, at the very least. So all of this is in the same region, at the very least. Oh, right. Sorry. The 2 can't grow left because it would be forced by this little bit of loop to hit the 5. So we actually do get the border. There we go. I'd seen that before, but somehow my brain lost track of it. Okay, so now I can't shade this and I can't shade this by virtue of thingy thing. So that now gives me some corners over here. Greens this whole column me do. Oh, there's a corner over down here. Yeah, I think this was related to some sort of setting competition, I believe. Okay, so I've got to split up this mess, and there's only one way to split it up, right? I have to split it at this line. So I can split that like that. Okay, and so this needs to come down here, actually. And now I can't close the loop yet, so we get to finish this whole bit. I don't know how the Ambrose loop excitement rating compares these two. Are these equally exciting as loops? This has got to be gray. That's the wrong gray. So this is green, which is then going to force all of that. This is also going to come out. Okay, still can't close the loop, though, so this is going to come out like that. And then if I omit either of these, we've got problems, because if I omit either, I have to omit both, is basically what the loop parity thingy is saying. Okay, so this sees at least 3 borders in this direction, but it already sees a shaded cell, so it might see no more. And that would be okay. No one would judge it. Okay. I feel like I should be able to finish this whole razzmatazz, but I don't yet see how I'm finishing the whole razzmatazz, as they say. Yeah, there's at least 4 more borders owing to this 5. We've got 2 already. Sorry, no, at least 4 more, right? Because I need to get to 6 minus 1 at least. So I need at least 4 more. The earliest I can have one is here. So I could have one here, here, maybe here, here, and here. I think that was more than 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The maximum I can have is 5. So if I counted correctly, if we only do boring loops, maybe this 4. Should I count this 4? Is that interesting? Can only have 1 before there. You need to add a shaded. I can't do 1 here and 1 here and then have a big region that goes up to this. I don't think I see why. Oh, right. The 2 clue is a 2 clue, right? So basically, yeah, the 2 clue is currently happy. Wherever this border is, the 2 clue sees 2 things. And so then in order to make this work, then if I add a border, I have to add a shaded here. So basically, I need a net of, after this, I need a net of, let's see, we'll have seen 1, sorry, we'll have seen 1, 2, and then minus 1, 1. Sorry, we'll have seen 1, 2, 3. Minus 1 is 2. So we'll need 2 more borders after this, I think is what we're saying. Does that sound right? So 2 more borders past the border of this, I think. Emma's getting 3 borders beyond it. But Emma is counting this one. So I think Emma and I have the same count. Okay. Hey, Laura, how are you doing? Let's see. Well, I know these are definitely in the same rectangle. Can I do anything with that? And I know there's going to be a lot of shadeds going up here, but that is neither here nor there. Oh, 3 more not counting the edge. Oh, 3 more not counting the edge, but now David is counting the one that's before the 2. Oh, that's a good point from João. This cell is currently already seeing 3 region borders. And we know it's going to see at least one more because it's going to see the region border with this. So we're going to need at least a shaded cell. Okay. So it sees a bunch, but we're okay. This 4 also sees a bunch, for what it's worth. Well, it definitely sees the region border between this and this. But I don't know that it sees a region border with this, right? I'm only getting one gray cell. There's a clue in the middle. That clue's above it. Couldn't that clue's rectangle go up like this or something? Oh, that would make this one high, wouldn't it? That would probably be a problem. I think that would make something one high. Yeah. There's definitely an issue with what I was suggesting. Which is that if this lives entirely above the 3... Wait, if that lives entirely above the 3, could I have this come all the way over here and then have the 3 go down? That seems like it might work, actually. That would give me only one more border. And the loop would connect. It would be okay. So I think there's n orientation. Sorry, I'd have to do that. Because of the, like, at most one. But yeah, I think I can do it with one shaded cell. I certainly can't do it with 0 shaded cells. And if I'm doing it with one shaded cell, I have to be very specific. And we know secretly this cell is shaded. Very secretly. Is this 2 interesting somehow? We know there's a shaded cell in these 3. Is there any cell it definitely can't be? Oh, sorry, we don't know there's a shaded cell in these. Sorry. Sorry, I was forgetting the -1. Oh, let's see. Martin says row 15 can't have any more shaded cells. it can't have any more shaded cells past here, right? I have to, past there, I've got one border, two borders, three borders, four borders. I feel like I can just get away with squeezing one more shaded cell in there if I maximize the borders, right? Because I think I have just enough to squeeze four more borders past this, in which case I could get one more shaded cell. Unfortunately. Because I like the point. It would be very helpful to know that this cell is not shaded. Yeah, I think four borders and one shaded would fit, albeit very precariously. Yeah. The clue next to the shaded, you can do a 2-cell wide trick Medu. But this is definitely our pattern lately, is to be doing pencil puzzles and have everything going super smoothly and then suddenly come to a grinding halt when suddenly nothing works anymore. Let's see if this would poke down far enough to make borders with row 15, column 10. It seems... Yeah, I mean, I guess it accounts for four borders as long as the only rectangles in this row are the rectangles with these three clues. If those are the only rectangles in this row up until this point, then it'll be okay. Yeah, so because every border has to be at least 2 thickness, Joel, I think that is what you're saying. So, like, these are in a region together for sure. Because there aren't any one-wide regions. And so, like, we know, like, that's all one region, for example. By applying that twice. And so this region either takes the 0, in which case it then also automatically... Oh, no, it doesn't automatically grow from there. So it either takes the 0 or it takes this cell. Okay. If row 9, column 9 extended to row 15, column 9... would have to be a loop. And so would row 15, column 8. Why are we... What are we trying to prove about row 9, column... What's our goal? This cell seems very far away. So I think Garion sees something I don't about what is happening here. I think Garion's point is now... right, okay, so yeah, so now this is the option where we try and do two... right, so Garion's point here is have exactly one border in here, because if I wanted 2 borders in here, I would have to do that. It's the only way I could get it. And then I need an extra shaded cell, and that extra shaded cell would make it impossible to create a loop for this region without doing something that would be too interesting even for Ambrose. We do know there's no shaded cells in here, I guess is the point. Now, what does that do? There's no way this 0 is interesting. Unless the point is that this is interesting somehow. But if it is, I don't know how. There is a parity thing, I guess, with the number of shaded cells, where if this doesn't grow any further, then this is... Oh, never mind. We're good. This is even already. So this region needs an even number of additional shaded cells, is I guess what the parity thing says. But that's not super exciting as these things go. So we've got this border, the border with that, and then we could do, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and so now we know there's no more shaded cells. Okay, so Martin has correctly done this. So now we know there's one border here. There's one border between these two, additionally beyond that. That's 2. And then if we sort of max it out, it'd be 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So now we know there's no more shaded cells, because I would need to get a 7th border in order to make it work. And so now we finally have something. Namely, we have this piece over here. So we know at least all of this, and indeed all of this is at least one. All of this is in one region. I don't have a great way to notate that, but all of this is in one region. And this region certainly can't get more than 4 wide, but it could, in theory, get quite a bit taller. Oh, no. Sorry. That actually, sorry. This has to be it, because we needed to max out that 6 borders. It's because of where the shaded cell would have been in here. So the extra border would have ended up having to come into play here. And so basically, through a slightly tricky look ahead with this ending up being something specific, where it would have cut off the top and bottom of this region, we ended up arguing that there were no additional borders between here. There's sort of no extra regions, basically hinging on that the extra region would have had to come from this. And so we get 2 borders between here and here. And then if we just maximize it, we can put 1 here, and then 1 here, and then 1 here. And then we're at max because we only have 1 wide. So in fact, actually, just in our pure maxing of this, I think we actually get all of those borders, right? So because that's our 4 over there plus our 2 over here minus our 1 shaded cell. And so this border, at least, we know grows at least that far. Yes, I think that is, yep, the 0 region goes down. That's because these are in the same area. This is green for sure, at the very least. Okay, this region either goes down or up. Oh, loop next to the 0, thank you. And this is a corner, thank you. Oh, and also we know this goes up to here, right? There's no, we know where this gets its clue. And now it also has to go down to here, and this is shaded by our previous deductions. And so now we know what this whole region looks like. Sorry, Ambrose. This needs to be shaded because otherwise this is a dead end. And so now that's a corner. Uh-oh. I screwed something up. No, I didn't screw it up. That's fine. This is a corner. It just so happens that this area looks like this and is cutting horizontally across here. This region is growing vertically up to here, where we get our little loop. That goes there. So this needs to extend up because if not, I've got a region that is wrapped around a rectangle, and we're not allowed to wrap regions around rectangles. The legal torment nexus has been acquired. Yes, absolutely. Oh, this is a corner again. Oh, this too is with this, and so this rectangle doesn't go down. So this is in fact a corner because I can actually extend this one more. And so that is a corner, and I can green that. And now that actually finally forces there to be a border here, because otherwise the 2 is with the other 2. So we at long last get to declare that this stops here, which now we get to do loop stuff. I think Ambrose will like this one. I think this one will rate even higher on the Ambrose loop aesthetic scale. And so now these cells can only get that clue. So we actually force this, oops, wrong color. Force this over here, not that far. And then we go whoop. This sneaks up like that. Okay, so this, if it goes up further, which seems plausible-ish to me. Row 12, column 12 is that one. Oh yeah, which rectangle does this get? Is David's question, and the only possible answer is that one because of the right-hand border, right? So this thing, this clue has to be in the sight of this this thing, and there's just only one. So that in fact extends this border all the way up to here, and this all the way over to here. And I can't leave a one wide rectangle as previously established, so I have to do that, which is going to let me finish this loop. It is going to make this shaded because it can't be anything. And so now this is a corner. This is in. This is in this region up here. This 2 now sees 1, 2, 3. Yes, okay, well, I can't shade this. Let's get that out of the way. And this, because I haven't gotten to all the things yet, actually, this is all just forced. Okay, so I need one shaded, and it's there. Is the answer. I have figured it out. I know that's green. This I know extends that way because if it extended up and down, it would close the loop by ye old 2 out of 3 logic. If this connects here, it closes the loop. So it doesn't. And I know there's another shaded in here just by parity, right? There's no way I visit every remaining thing. So I'm going to need to somehow use like that clue or something, which is currently at 1, 2, 3, 4 borders minus 1 shaded cell. And so it needs to see another border to even be at equilibrium. If I put that border in, it's now at equilibrium. That's the only place I could put a border, but now I can't do any more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 1. So that makes all of that green. And then I don't have to mutter anything about parity. I can just do this, and you can forget I ever said anything. Hey, that one's pretty nice, Ambrose. You got to give that one. That one's pretty good. And so now this little thing needs a clue, and the clue it's going to get has to come all the way from up here. So we know that's the top of this by our previous theorems about loop shenaniganery. These are green. Oh, right. And now this cell, several people in chat are pointing out, now can't belong to the 4 anymore. And so now the only clue this can belong to is this universe over here. So we have this over here. Okay, so all of this stuff is 3 wide, I guess. Because I can't leave anything to be too wide. I'm being told there's a clue in row 6, column 12. Is there? Do we mean row 6, column 16? Oh, I see. This cell, right? Or okay, sorry, I understand now. Which cell takes this? And so Martin's point is now, yeah, which clue takes this? And the only possible answer is that one. So we can border that in, which is very nice. So now we can do a little bit more greening around the corners. Like that. We can count this 3, which currently sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 borders. So it needs to see 2 shaded cells around here. Yeah, very good. Emma points out this now needs a clue, and it can only be this one, which gets me at least that far. But now this cell needs a clue, and its clue can only be that one, so that rectangle's done. And so we get a little bit more in terms of free green real estate. Now, this cell, oh, I guess, no, this cell still needs a clue, and it can only be this one, right? Because this cell can't go down here because we know this is 3 wide. So in fact, actually, we can sort of finish off that piece. Yeah, by avoiding the 1 cell rectangles, right? So we can go ahead and green in some stuff up here. Okay, so now we've got some corners around here. Oops, some corners. And I think that's going to finally resolve the one that we knew was going to resolve by uniqueness eventually, because I need 2 shaded cells more in this row, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 borders, and I cannot put 2 shaded cells here. And ergo, if I can't put 2 shaded cells there without creating a dead end, I must shade this cell, which then I can just sort of chase around, and therefore I also shade that cell. This cell, now Jim points out, needs to see 1 shaded cell. It needs to see 1 shaded cell. This clue sees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 borders and currently 1 shaded cell. So this clue needs to see 2 more shaded cells, right? Did I do that right? 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It needs to see 2 more shaded cells. So one of these 2 is shaded, and that one is shaded is the only way that that's going to work. And so that will get me all of that going around. And now this needs to connect or I won't make my loop. So now that connects there and that connects there. And now this is shaded. So this is now unshaded. I can't shade this because it'll be a dead end, which sounds bad. So I better shade that one, which is going to loop me around. Right, baby, right round like a record, baby, or something. Let's see, there we go. Oh, this is going to be green as well. We're still going to get our free leftward poking thing by our 2 out of 3 rule. This one, I see I cannot do that and that, or that and that. So actually, as soon as I connect down, I am screwed. I think, right? Oh, maybe not. Sorry. Maybe. But I definitely can't do that and that. If I do that and that, I definitely break. So I need that in for sure. Now, one of these 2 is in, and I guess we're just going to need this to tell me which one, right? I think this one already, let's see. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Okay, so this needs one more. So it needs one more cell. There we go. Okay. There we go. The eye mask, we will call it. Okay. I agree. That is easier. Row 3, column 8 count. Okay. So now this is at 1, 2, 1. So it's now at 1, and I'm not introducing any more borders. So these are both green. Agree. And I suppose I know how many borders there are in this column, right? There's 1 from here to here, 2 from here to here, 3, 4. There's 4 borders, so this requires 4 shaded cells in this column, right? 2, 3, 4. Currently, I can, in theory, fit 5 if I'm very ambitious. It's probably too ambitious. Oh, right. We still can't shade 2 next to each other because shading, or sorry, 2 like 1 apart from each other, because we're against an edge and it will create a T. That rule does ultimately end up working. So if I can't do that, then now I get at most 1, 2, 3 up here. So I need to shade this one. Hey, Chip, how are you doing? So we get to go wee, not like that. Sven, you knew what I meant. And we get a couple shaded cells up here. Get a bunch of unshaded cells up here. Okay. Now we said if I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I need to shade one of these two. And so if I'm shading one of these two, I'm not shading that one. If I go from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, means I'm shading one of these two. It means I'm not shading that one. Okay, and so now I'm shading one of these two. I might have another clue I can use to make my life better, like maybe this one. If we look at this, we've got 1 border here, 2, 3, 4. So we need exactly 1 shaded cell. Oh, sorry to hear that, Chip. I hope everything works out okay. 9, column 17. Right. Yeah. If this is shaded, then we create a big problem because we know this region is 3 wide, and you can't have a 3 wide region with a chokehold like this where it will only cross once. 1 is not an even enough number. So this is always green. I know one of these two is always shaded. I know that's not shaded because I know one of these two is shaded by the 0, right? One of these two, one of these two, and one of these two is shaded. So if one of these two is shaded, that's not shaded because that would definitely create a dead end. So this is not shaded, and that's going to do it because now I know where my border is with this. So that's going to do that at least. And remember, one of those two was shaded, so it was that one. And remember, one of these two was shaded, so it's that one. And one of these two is shaded, and I don't know which one it is yet. Okay. Oh, right. Green's missing next to grays. That would really help. Because this green now gets pushed around this side, which means this green gets pushed around that side. I was, for some reason, missing that step. Okay, and so now the border is either here or here, but I can't put the border here. That is, I can't make this shape, because if so, then whichever side of this the shaded cell is on causes a dead end. So in fact, the border is here. And so now that is green and that is gray, which is going to get us this around here. Okay. I think this 3 said we needed one more shaded in this column. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do, and now that's the only one we can do. And now we get that. Very nice, very nice. I quite enjoyed that. Yeah, I think top right is going to win the much coveted Ambrose Looplet of the Year award. But we might have to wait for the official ceremony to find out. But I'm sure it has been shortlisted. Oh, right, I'm not done. There we go. But yeah, very neat. I really like the ideas here. I think my only thing I would like to not copy out of this is I would like to not copy the Yaslany clues being borders minus the other thing. Oh yeah, that's right. These two are the same shape, just slightly like upside down of each other. Long lost twins separated at birth. Oh, are they not quite the same? Oh, they're not quite, right? Right. One of them is a little more off-center than the other. You can decide whether you like the symmetry or the asymmetry, right? I can put zeros in all of these cells and see if my answer is right. Although, just I'll say in advance, if it's not right, we're not fixing it. Ta-da! Very nice. But I really like this idea of like dividing the grid. Like this is kind of like a very bizarre Yaslin permaculture, if you want, where you're having to split like the grid into a bunch of little Yaslin puzzles, and they all happen to be rectangular. So I think there's a lot of there's a lot to be gained from exploring the good ideas of this puzzle, because I think this puzzle has a lot of good ideas. All right. I'll look forward to SVG Hardy's sequel to this, where instead of Yaslin, they're U-bonds. But I'll be right back in just a moment. I'm going to stretch my legs. So see you all shortly. All right, welcome back. Let us do this Timitab build your own skyscraper. I don't think we need the dashed grid for this. I think conveniently we can use row column labels. What do we need to do? We need to place the digits 1 through 9, once in every row and column of the main 9x9. So we've got a real Sudoku on the inside, and then we've got a weirdo crazy thing happening on the outside. Let me gray the weirdo crazy thing just so we're not convinced or not tempted to scan it. Skyscrapers, each cell represents a skyscraper whose height is the digit in the cell. Okay, so if you've never seen skyscrapers before, it counts something very bizarre. So if you write down something like 6, 3, 8, 4, 5, 1. I said 5, but I didn't write 5. 9, and the other one, 7. Then what the skyscraper counts is if you look from this side, how many numbers can you see if you say you see the ones that are bigger than every number you've seen so far. So basically it's counting the number of times you beat your record for highest. So 3 doesn't beat the highest, 8 does, 4, 2, and 1, and 5 don't, and then 9 does, and then the 7 doesn't. So this clue here from this side would be a 3. 1, 2, 3. You're counting the yellow cells. If you started from this side, well, then 7, that's the highest you've seen. 9, that's the highest you've seen. But then all of these others are lower, so you're not impressed by them and they don't count. And so this clue would be a 2. So that's a very strange thing to think about, but maybe the most instructive thing to see is what does a 1 look like? If you ever have a skyscraper clue of a 1, then that means there's a 9 immediately in front of it. You see the highest thing right away and never see anything higher. If you have a 9 as a skyscraper clue, that means that everything you see is a new and exciting new high for you. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So both of those are forced. And then it turns out that none of the others are forced at all. And so that is why skyscraper ends up being a little bit weird. But anyway, that is what the clues are. But we aren't given any of them. We're filling them in. And then where digits are separated by a black dot, multiply one digit by the digit in the black dot to get the other. So these are like generalized black dots where sort of a 2 is a normal black dot. A 1 is just saying these are all the same. And then so we've got that. So so this needs to be a 1-9 pair right away, just so that we are clear. Which means one of these is a 9, which means this digit's only ever a 2 or a 3. Oh, I guess I know which one it is, don't I? Because this probably isn't a 9 unless I'm going to put a 45 here, which seems difficult. So this is going to be a 1, and we can bring out Zach for the 1 dance. Boop, boop, ba-doop. Woo! Ba-doop, ba-doop. Wah! Ba-doop, ba-doop. Wee! Ba-doop, ba-doop. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So that'll be a 5, which is completely useless. That'll be a 9. Remember, the 9 goes here, and so now this is definitely a 2. It depends on the vibe, we'll say. So now one of these cells is a 9. It's not that one. And so, oh yeah, that's an even better point. But I was going to come over here and just say that these now are each at most 3. And so these things, which are all the same now, they can't be 1 because these aren't both 9. So these are each either 2 or 3. But yes, that is true. We did find a 9 skyscraper, and we just went over what a 9 skyscraper looks like. 8, 9, right? So we got to do a good example right away. Okay, so now this is a 1 with an 8 and a 4 hanging on down there. The 8 actually tells me the 9 in this column is here. because the 9 can't be there because there's already a 9 in the row. And as soon as you see the 9, you're done being impressed. So can do that. This can't be as low as... These can't both be as low as 2, right? Oh, maybe they could. Maybe it's possible. Anyway, whereas 1 in this column, it's in front of the 9, and every digit in front of the 9 is seen. So therefore, the 1 can only go there. And if you want, you can do this whole good living thing where you say, okay, so this is 2 or 3, this is 3 or 4, 4 or 5, 5 or 6, 6 or 7, 7 or 8, all the way up. And then you see that this is a 6 by Sudoku, so that's a 7 and that's an 8. And this is a 2, 3, or 5, I guess. Okay, one of these two is an 8, which is kind of interesting, which means one of these up here is an 8. Okay, these are probably a 1-7 pair, so that probably means one of these is a 9. And these are a 1-5 pair, which probably means one of these is a 9, which means that by Zackwing, we get a 9 in one of those two cells. I don't know if that's super interesting. Actually, it is. It is, because I know which one. Because none of these can be 9. So the 9 in this box is actually over here. And so, therefore, that's not the 9. And so the 9 is just actually placed here. Okay, so this is, again, these are both 2 or 3. Yeah, this, Garion points out, 7 is much too large, because you can see these 3 cells easily, but then you can only see 7, 8, and 9 afterwards. That's seeing a maximum of 6. So therefore, that's the 1, and that's the 7, which means that's the 9, and that's the 9, and that's the 1, and that's the 5. Okay, so if this is a 7, then we need to make sure that we see everything we can, because we can see... So we need to see the 7, the 8, and the 9 in the row. In particular, if we're seeing the 7 and the 8 in the row, because the 7 is at earliest here, that means that we get that 7, 8, 9 like that. Okay, and then we've got a little bit of flexibility here for the rest of it. 7 is here just by Sudoku. Let's see. We've hit that point where I'm slightly concerned because LMD lists this as a 3-star puzzle, and so far this is not seemed like what LMD would consider a 3-star puzzle. Let's see. Right. This sees at most 3 because of... I think David meant where the 8 is, but if the 8 is there, then I can only see the 8, the 9, and that. So these are 2 or 3 only. But this one can't be 2, because this one sees the 8 and the 9 and something else. So actually, these are both 3. Which means that can't be the 8. That is the 8, which means that's the 8. Okay, and so these digits left over here are 5, 6, and 7. This can't be a 5, because the second this is a 5, I actually see 5 and then 6. So that doesn't work. This one will be fine regardless. Okay, I think now it'll be fine regardless. Oh, but I should look at this 5 as well. Because I'm going to see the 4, the 8, and the 9. And I'm not going to see anything other than these two. So this actually tells me these two are both seen, which tells me that one's not a 7. And so actually the 7 is placed there, and the 5, 6 don't matter. Sorry, 5, 6. It is true. This is a 2. We can fill it in just for that. Let's see. Laura wants me to pencil mark 4 in row 5. I agree one of those two is a 4. Let's see. What are these? These are 1, 2, and 3, I think. But I need to see both of these if I recall how this row works. And so this can't be a 3 and this can't be a 1. Oh, right. This 4 being here makes that a 5. Thank you. Thank you for your persistence, Laura et al. Let's see. Oh, yeah, 4 in column 4 just goes here because we've got a 2, 3 pair. That is true. This is a maximum of 4 because we see the 9 there. This is from 1, 2, 3, 4. This can't be as high as 8 because I know all of these are unseen. So this is at most 6, and it can't be 5. So this is certainly from 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So if this is a 4, that's a 2. Actually, this can't be very small either because I actually know I see the 7, the 8, and the 9 and this cell. So actually, this isn't a 1, 2, 3 either. So this is a 4 or a 6, which actually then makes this a 3 or a 4. Okay, that's way more constrained than it looked. Okay. Oh, I did not do that very well. So this is a 4 or a 6, and therefore this is a 3 or a 2. 4, 4 is not a very good ratio of 2, it turns out. It's very surprising, I know. Okay, and these are also at most 4 for a similar reason. Because of that 9 over there. They aren't all 1, that's for sure. They can't all be 4 either, because there is a 9 in this box somewhere. So yeah, if I don't even look at this pencil mark, just there's a 9 in the box somewhere. That tells me that this is a 2 or a 3. So this is a 1, a 4, or a 6, for what it's worth. I think very little in this particular instance. Yes, this is also a 1, 4, or 6. I agree. So one of these is 2, I guess is the point, because if they were both 3, I'd have 2 6s here. So at least one of these is 2. David says it's the top ones, because this can't be a 6. Because there's no 7, 8 left, right or right. If this is a 6, then the only thing I can see is a 9. Got it. Okay, so these are all 2s. Very good. This is 2 or 3 only, by the way. So these are actually a 2, 3 pair, because this digit, if you look at it, it is not 1, 4, or 8. So it's only 2, 3. And so, therefore, this is 1, 4, or 6. And it's certainly not 1, because that would make this a 9, and 2 or 3 are not 1. Let's see. Can I do anything with this 2, 3 pair? I did not make those jokes, but so feel free. I've softened up the audience for you, so go for it. Oh, this 8 just can't go here. If this is an 8, then I see that digit, the 8, and the 9 at a minimum. So that's the 8. Okay, so these are 5, 6, 7, actually. It's just what those digits are. That's very good. Emma points out that there's a 7 somewhere in this row. I believe Emma has seen the solution to know that. And therefore, where is the 7? Well, it's definitely in front of the 9. And it's also in front of the 8. So the 7 is going to be the highest when you see it. And you only see 2 things. You always see the first one. You always see the 9. The 9 isn't the first one. You always see the 7. So the 2 things you see are the 7 and the 9. So the 7 has to be the first one. I did not explain that very well. Okay, so this is a 2. This is also a 2. There's a 2 in this row down here, just by Sudoku. So these are actually a 2, 9 pair. So these are, I guess, these are a 1, a 4, and something else. A 1, a 4, and a 3. It turns out. This is a 2. Oh, this can't be a 1. I mean, this is a very minor point, but if this were a 1... oh, sorry, this could be a 9. Sorry, no, this could be a 1 with that being a 9. Never mind, sorry. I suspect it's going to be the case that these aren't 2, but who knows? Let's see. We know we got our 9 over here. Oh, 7 in box 9 is in one of these cells. And the 8 in this box is in one of these 2 cells. So whatever is in front of these, so these are at most 6. And so whatever in front of the 7 is less than 7. And then after the 7, you see the 9. So Carl is pointing out there's always 3. There's always at least 1 3 here. So that's a 3. That's a 6. That is very, very slick. Okay. Let's see, there's also a 7 in one of these 2 cells for what it's worth. The 8 in this row, if you look at where it can go, people are pointing out, it's ruled by Sudoku out of all of these cells. So I'm definitely going to see the 8. I'm also definitely seeing this cell, which is demonstrably not the 7 or the 8. And so I can't also see the 7. Very smart. So that's a 7. So now that's a 7. Okay, so now this can't be a 3. Now this is a 2, because if this were going to be 3, it would have to go 7, 8, 9, and it cannot. So let's see. The 9 is in one of these 3 cells. Can I rule it out of any of those? I don't think so. Oh, I can rule it out of that cell. Yeah, sorry. I can rule it out of that side. Very good. Yes. If I have noticed the 3, I could have immediately done that and then sorted out that 2 and that 9, which would have been better. Although now this can be a 1 or a 4, which is not as good, but what can you do? Okay, so the 8 in this row actually is quite constrained, because I can't... Oh, yeah, in fact, the 8 just by Sudoku is in one of these 2 cells, actually. Never mind. Right. Wait, if I... Is there a reason I can't see... Oh, right. The point is, where's 8 in row 9? And so Carl's point is I can't put it here, because if I put the 8 here, then I see the 7, the 8, and the 9, and also that cell, and that's too many. And therefore, the 8 is in one of these 3 cells, but I've already corner marked the 8 in this box as going in one of these cells, so therefore the 8 goes there. Okay. So now one of these 2 is an 8, which I don't think is super immediately exciting. Yeah, this digit is smaller than this digit to make that skyscraper happy. Okay, there's a 4 down here. Oh, I agree. This is a 2, keeping on top of the important things. The 4 can't be here, because then you would see the 4, the 8, and the 9, and that's not enough things. I don't even think the 4 can be here, because if the 4 is here, you'd see perhaps this digit, the 4. Oh, maybe I didn't actually do that right. Sorry, maybe I didn't actually do that right, because I could see this digit, the 8, and the 9. Yeah, so the 4 still can't be there. Oh, no, sorry. Everything higher than 4 is over here. That's why this all worked. So of the digits higher than 4, I am not seeing the 5, the 6, and the 7. So I'm seeing the 8 and the 9. So 4 doesn't work, because I would see the 4, the 8, and the 9. But 4 here still doesn't work, because I would see this digit perhaps, and then the 4, the 8, and the 9. But that's still not 5. So the 4 is actually placed via that. I know that these are only from 1, 2, 3, because that's all that's left in the row. That's not 8. And I think I know this can't be 3, because then I'd see the 3, the 4, the 8, and the 9, and that's not enough. So I actually have to see all of this. I need to see all of that. And so this also can't be a 1 or it would go unseen. So that's a 2 or a 3. So there's a 5 and a 6 up here somewhere for what it's worth. That one's not the 6. Okay, so this one is not 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So this is also a 1, 2, 3. Just by good old-fashioned Sudoku. Let's see. David says if this is a 6, then I need to see... Oh, right. If this is a 6, then I need to see all but one of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because that's 7 digits. But that would be a problem because I don't see this digit and I don't see the 7. So that's too many digits to not see. So yeah, so there are 2 digits that I knew I was not seeing if that was a 6, 3. Because of the 7, this digit was just too small, and the 9 blocked the 7 at the very least. Oh, I see. David did it by sort of imagining the specific what it would look like to plop all of those digits in. I did it by counting the things you couldn't see, but either way will get you to the golden goose or something. Let's see. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I know anything about that. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true. Garion points out that if this is a 4, then this skyscraper can't be a 4 because you would see the 4, you'd see the other 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. So you'd end up seeing... In fact, if this is a 4, you just always see 5. You see the 4, the other 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. So this is just never a 4 because it would always make that a 5. So therefore, that's a 4. Okay, so this can be the other 5, 6, in which case then you see 4. Or it can be a 2, 3, in which case then everything's okay, I guess. The 6 in row 9. Okay, so Carl is pointing out that these can't be 6 by Sudoku. This can't be 6 because you need to see the 6, the 7, the 8, and the 9, and you can't see the 7. So ergo, one of these two is 6. If this one is 6, then that number is at most 4. If this digit is 6, then this number is in fact at most 2 because of the 7 and the 8 are hidden. So in fact, this is always 4, 2 is really, that is a great spot from Carl there. I guess we know that one of these is 6. So funnily enough, that actually gives me a 6, 8, 9 triple because my thing has become a... I guess it's really given me a 6, 8 pair and a 9 if you want, but the triple sounded more fun. I mean, the triple was more fun, let's be honest. Okay. Are there any other Sudokus that I can do? Probably. I guess I can fill in this pair. That'll be very helpful. These are a 3-5 pair, I want to say. So these numbers aren't 5. So one of these numbers is 5. One of these numbers is 3. I don't know if I want to mark that yet. Okay. Do I know the order of this 3 and this 5? Because if the 5 goes first, I need to see everything but the 7. But I think I could see the 5, the 6, and the 8. I think it would be okay. Actually, it's the 3 going first that's the problem. If I put the 3 first, then I see the... Oh, no, I just would have to make this an 8. Never mind. Right. If this is a 1, 2, 3, it breaks, is what Joan was pointing out. So this number has to be a 5 or a 6. Row 9, column 1 is also 5 or 6. Is this just by investigation, or what are we doing? It's higher than row 7 and 8, column 1. Oh, you're pencil marking this row. I see. Okay, so you're saying that what's left in this row is 1, 3, 5. And so you're saying that this number, by virtue of the fact that it needs to be bigger than this, needs to be... Okay, and it can't be a 2 with a 1 because it would break that cell. So this number needs to be at least a 3. Okay. David has a much nicer way to see it than what I'm about to do, which is excruciating. David is saying there's another 5, 6 in this column somewhere. And the other 5, 6 in the column somewhere is definitely seen by the skyscraper. And so it's the other digit that's seen other than the 9. And therefore it has to go here. That's much nicer than what I was about to walk us through. So thank you for sparing me. Okay, and so that leaves me a 1, a 3, and a 2 over here, I believe. I'm told that column 9 has a 5 in it somewhere, which is interesting if true. Can that not be the 5? It can't. Because if that's a 5, right. So Amnasti's point is this can't be a 5 because the 6, 7, and 8 are all gone in the row. And so the 5 has to go there exactly. Oh, the 5, 6 pair looks at this cell. That's true. So that's a 3 and that's a 5. Now this 4 needs to make sure I only see one more thing besides the 9. And the 8 in this column is seen. And so if I make this the 6, I'm going to see both the 6 and the 8. That's not going to work. So that's the 8. That's the 6. That's the 8. These aren't 6. So we'll get all of that. This is the 5 just by Sudoku. So that makes that the 6 and the 5. That makes that a 6. This is some sort of 1, 2, 3 shenaniganery. In fact, just for the column, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. This isn't a 1 or a 3. This isn't a 4. Oh, this is the other 2, 4 for the row. But 2 then 4 won't work because then I'll see too many things. So this is 4 and then 2, which makes that a 3. Makes that a 1, a 2, and a 3. Makes that a 1 and a 3. Makes that a 4 and a 3. Oops. So yeah, one of those is a 3. I already knew that apparently. This is a 1, a 2, or a 3, but by the column it's only a 1. So that's a 3 and a 2, which seems to unravel things. This puzzle started out very gentle and got a little bit toothy by the end, which is very nice. The sort of the Tirganus flow of puzzles, but quite interesting. I guess I have a few more skyscrapers to fill in, don't I? This is a 4, 2, 3. This is also a 4. This is a 2. This is a 4. This is a 3. This is also a 3. This is also a 4. There we go. But yeah, the very, very generous, oh, here's a 9 for you, was quite kind. But then it sort of got just a little bit trickier there. Alrighty, I'm going to take a quick break. And I'm going to come back, and then I'm probably going to do a 6x6 or 2. So I will see you all in just a moment. Be right back. All right, welcome back. We have a J40 puzzle here. I saw Jay in chat earlier, I think. This is a 6x6, inspired by my time with Taiji, which I will admit I maybe don't recall exactly. Anything about, but that was, I think, the first game I streamed. Maybe the first game I streamed was actually The Looker. It was maybe the second game I streamed. So we need to shade some cells so the contiguous blocks, so that each contiguous group of shaded or unshaded cells follows these rules. If there is a clue in a group of cells, then the digits in the group can't repeat, and they sum to the number in the top left corner of the clued cell. Clues of the same color letter have to be in identically shaped groups and in the same position within the shape. No resizing, rotation, or mirroring is allowed. Okay, so I probably want my dashed grid on. clues of different colors cannot follow the previous rule, i.e. they must be in differently shaped groups or be in different positions of the shape. Okay. So, like, for example, I can say immediately, this is sort of Spiral Galaxy-esque, I suppose. I'm going to use a different color for this. The D can't go left here, so it can't go left here. The B can't go up here, so it can't go up here. The A can't go... Oh, I guess the A is forced to be one cell because the A can't go at either direction. So we've got a pink digit that sums to 6. So I think A is 6. Therefore, everything else needs to be more than 1 in size in some way or another. Let's see. The D and the E. Are the two shapes allowed to touch themselves? Like if the red... Oh, sorry, the red just can't go up. Never mind. Sorry, I'm trying to Spiral Galaxy stuff again. I was like, if the E comes up, it also comes down, and then it touches itself. No, that is not the way any of this works. Oh, the C can't go right because of the D there. Okay, well, the C certainly has to grow, but I don't think I know which way it grows right away. If my B grows down, that digit's definitely a 3. But this digit, I should say, is definitely blue or green, right? If green grows this way, blue gets pushed that way. If green grows this way, well, then of course. So basically what I'm saying is the E is actually trapped on that side. Right. João pointing out this is just a 6 because we know everything in here is in a 2 or more cell 6 cage. So therefore, that's definitely a 6. And that's, in fact, definitely a 6 as well, if you look at where 6 goes in this box. One of these two is a 6. One of these two is a 6. Annoyingly, I can get to 14 and 3. Green can't get to 3. No, it would have to be at least 3 cells, but it can be 3. Green can't get to 3 cells because it would have to go up further than it can get off the screen. And blue can't get to 3 cells. Oh, unless it does this. If blue does... So the only way that one of these is 3 cells is if blue does that, which doesn't work because it would put a 1, 2, 3 quadruple in column 2, which is too many ooples for 1, 2, 3. So yeah, so actually these are both exactly 2 cells. It took me a long time to convince myself that I could check that. But yeah, the only way that I could get one of them to 3 cells is if the one was blue and it looked like this, and that puts a 1, 2, 3 triple in column 2. So therefore, this digit is a 3. Because all of these now are a 1, 2, and a 4, 5. So yeah, I can just write this in. These are 1, 2, 4, 5. Right. I can put a border above here. That's very true. That is true. D can't be as big as 5 cells. Oh, do we want to shade the ones that we know are blue? And the ones that we know are yellow? The ones that we know are red? The ones that we know are green? Does something go wrong if I take this 3? Then I've got 5 left. It would have to be either a 5 or a 1, 4. Yeah, there are unshaded cells. Not every cell is in a cage. Yeah, one of these is blue. I do know one of these is 6. I don't think anything has to reach row 6, column 5. I think the point is that there's oh, maybe I'm wrong. I see. Okay, so I should probably uncolor these then. Sorry, I think I have misunderstood the nature and purpose of reality. Does that mean all of this is wrong? No. Okay, so if there is a number in a group of cells, that group of cells acts as a killer cage. That's true. But we do actually have that we can sort of start shading, unshading, right? Okay, so basically we have to make this is a checkered philomeno if you want. So these things are wait, do we know that I don't think I know that clues have the same shadedness, but let's just shade this, unshade these. It does mean that this 6 can't go this way, because if it did, then it would now be 3 cells, and as we've previously established, it cannot do that thing I just said. So therefore, all of that is shaded. I guess I don't really need my red lines there anymore. And so therefore this is unshaded and this is shaded. I wanted to say this is unshaded because everything has to be a rectangle, but that's not how it works. This is all unshaded because it touches the shaded. Okay, so this yellow... Oh, 3 in column 1 is now here. right. We know that these are both red. So these are the same color, whatever that color is. Oh, right. And green is the same color, or green goes up regardless. And so yellow, yeah, yellow goes up. Right, so we can sort of draw that and draw that at the very least. Oh, this has to be... Yeah, this has to be shaded because we can't make this bigger. No, green is the same size as this screen. But I can't make this... I can't make this unshaded because if I do, then this is also part of the red. So this is definitely shaded, actually. And so, therefore, if you believe that, that makes this 14 unshaded. Okay, and so now this is shaded because I can't have these two be the same. And so that's shaded because I can't have, or because of the border here. This has to grow. So these grow out like that. There is a 6 in here. Right, this is shaded because otherwise my 14 would grow. Okay, so now this D is done. So that's unshaded. And so now this is unshaded and these are shaded. Which means that's shaded. And that's unshaded. So is this a 5 or two numbers that's 5 or a 1, 4, basically? Oh, sorry, no, we're done because this 14 is done. Red, we know, does not grow up there. And so if red doesn't grow up there, and red doesn't grow down up here, so we get that. And so that is that, and that is shaded. And we can get rid of all of our red borders. And we can fill in a 5 here, fill in a 5 there. Right, this needs a 5. Yeah, this needs a 5. There's two ways to make it. No, it's only 3, 5, 6. It's only 3, 5, 6. So that's a 5. These are a 3, 6. 3, 6. 3, 6. Fine, I'll just write them in. So that's a 6. These are a 2, 4. Oh, I have some extra red. I'm going to make my black yellow instead, I think, just so that it reads a little bit better. There we go. That looks a bit better. This is a 1. I agree. Okay, this 14 is everything except a sum to 7 of some description. I guess I could just write in what these are. Can I write in what these are? This digit's certainly 2 or 4, I guess. So what sum to 7 am I omitting? I'm certainly not omitting a 1. So I guess I'm omitting either 2, 5 or 3, 4. Okay, maybe that doesn't work as well as I had hoped. This digit goes there at the very least. I know one of these two is a 3. Oh, Garion is using this cage and the fact that it has a 1 in it to note that this digit is not 1, 3, 6, or 5. So this is only 2 or 4, which then makes this cage a 1, 5. That's very cute. So this is a 2, 4, which makes these a 1, 5 up there. This is a 2 or a 4, just by asking where that goes in this box. This is a 1 or a 5. No, that's not true. Oh, there's a 1 down there. So yes, the 1 in the 14 cage is not going in the column with this one. I was like, how does that help? But it very much helps, because that means one of these two is a 1. So therefore, that's a 5, and that's a 1. And now this 14 cage needs a 1, and it only goes there. So this is a 3 or 5. Do I know the parity of row 2, column 2? I know there's a 1 and a 6 in here. Do I know what else is in here? Oh, I guess I do. Yeah, there's a 1, a 6, and a 2, 4. Right. So a 1, a 6, and a 2, 4. Okay, yeah, Jules is right. A 1, a 6, and a 2, 4 definitely sum to an odd number. So therefore, this number is odd. And so it is 3 because it sees 1 and 5. That is very cute. Well spotted. So therefore, that's a 3. And that's a 2. That's the 1 for the row. That's a 4. That's a 2. That's a 4 and a 2. That's a 1. This is a 2 or a 4. This is a 2 or a 4. Oh, sorry. It's not a 2 or a 4. It's just a 4. If I add to 14 correctly. It's a 4, and that's a 3. Very nice. I quite enjoyed that. A good callback to the old days of Taiji. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up stream there for today, but thank you, everyone. If you do want to kick in any recommendations for the Invitation to Puzzle series, by all means, please do. Again, they don't have to be new puzzles. They don't have to be created just for this. They don't even have to be yours. They just have to be fitting introductory puzzles. So basically, for someone who's just starting out with pencil puzzles or Sudoku or anything like that, particularly if you remember anything that you did in that era, but anything of that sort, I would appreciate that. But I definitely have plenty I'm going to dig up from like the Gas series and the Gap series and those sorts of things. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up there for today. But thank you, everyone who supports the stream. If you want to support the stream, please do. We greatly appreciate it. You can always do that either through YouTube, through Patreon, or through Ko-fi if you want to stay out of the whole corporation shenanigans. I understand. We appreciate it all. And do check out the Let's Play videos. We've been enjoying putting those up one a day, alternating currently between Blueprints and Lingo. I can confirm, slight spoiler, I've beaten Lingo. So I at least can tell you that I make it fairly far in Lingo. But you'll have to see exactly how that goes. And then there's still lots of optional content to mop up in Lingo, it turns out. So look forward to that. Also, I feel like I'm getting close in Blueprints. We'll see exactly how that goes, but I'm making some progress. So anyway, thank you all. Last but not least, thank you to all the Turbines. Daniel, David, Franco, Nell, Nordy, Plonktime, and Tyson. Thank you so much. Bye for now.